whatever we have learned yesterday, all things will help you to understand the practical work during fire safety. Our next topic was fire safety, but because this work permit system which you are seeing on the screen, it is a very short topic, and I want to give more time to fire safety. That's why I just want to quickly finish this work permit system, and then we will look for this fire safety management. So in that fire safety management, whatever the steps we have seen in this general safety, all steps will be included. Like whatever the steps you need to you are going to take, the whatever we have seen in yesterday class, it will be used. So quickly put your learnings in message box quickly within 5 minutes. Right now it is 6:32 in my mobile. We can have around like 6:40. In 6:40, we can have some quick revision. Please put your answer, and it is my humble request to everyone to participate in the discussion. Right? We are having right now a general discussion, so you please participate. It is for all of us only, right? So as yesterday I told that on Friday evening you are coming here and attending the webinar. It is quite difficult on Saturday evening because Saturday evening everyone has some plans. But still, if you guys are here, so please put your heart and time in completely in this webinar. It is on 1.5 hours only. So please be here and please put your answer. What we have learned yesterday, that what I am asking. The people who have joined late, please put, I was just telling that, please put your learnings, what we have learned yesterday. Yeah, general safety, but in general safety, what? Whatever the key points you have, you have remembered, whatever the key points. Some points might be like already you are knowing, and some points might be like, okay, yeah, this was what, this was new for us, that you can share. We discuss about assembly point, escape route, types of fire extinguisher, manual call point. Okay, 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 about H2S. And yesterday one question was also there which I told that I will answer today, and that was about inspection of breathing mask, right? So there, if it is simple mask, then there is no any kind of inspection. Inspection is only for this self-contained breathing apparatus. Yesterday we saw in the video that the two contractors which were in blue color coat, they were having a cylinder behind their back, right? And when they were on ground or top, they removed their normal mask and they wore that self-contained breathing apparatus mask, right? And even at the last we saw that the god or angel who was there, he was telling to the person who was wearing orange color coat, who was contaminated with the H2S, right? He was telling that you should have to use that self-contained breathing apparatus mask. So that self-contained breathing apparatus mask, that cylinder, we need to check the pressure of that cylinder before use. Now, the cylinder size of the cylinder will be quite small, so that anybody can lift over his back, right? It won't be a heavy like your fire extinguisher. So the weight of that cylinder will be very not weight, but the size of that cylinder will be quite small, right? So depending on that size, there might be different rules in different petrochemical plants, or say in different refineries, but the thing is there will be a designated pressure, like so if it is mandatory that you need to check the pressure, that minimum pressure of the cylinder should be 5 bar, right? I am not telling that this is industry standard, but that in that self-contained breathing apparatus cylinder, if the rules in your plant is that the minimum pressure should be of 5 bar, then if the pressure is below 5 bar, you do not have to use that SCBA. Now, during general rounds, when you are working in plant, during general rounds, time to time, you have to check once in a daily or twice in a daily. You need to check that self-contained breathing apparatus pressure. There will be a small pressure gauge over this cylinder, and you need to check that what is the pressure. If pressure is below the limit, you have to immediate inform to the concerned authority who is going to fill that cylinder again, right? And you have to report it to control system also, so that it will be informed to entire plant. It will be informed to entire plant that that particular self-contained breathing apparatus, there is a low pressure and we need to pressurize it again via gas, right? Because if something happen and it is low pressure, there is no use of that SCBA, right? So that was the inspection part. Also, apart from this self-contained breathing apparatus, there is one mask known as cartridge mask. The mask will be there and two yellow color cartridges will be there on that. Cartridge means like a simple foam layer will be there. It will be say you might have seen sponge, right? You might have seen sponge. So that I'm not telling that sponge will be there, but the material like that sponge will be around that mask. Two cartridges will be there, right? And you need to replace those cartridges in 3 months, right? Every 3 months you need to replace those cartridges, whether you are using it or not using it. Within 3 months you need to replace those cartridges. And it won't have any cylinder or something. Normally you can use those cartridge mask when you are taking some samples. Like if you are taking sample of fuel gas, right? If you are taking sample of fuel gas, before taking sample, always there is a procedure that you need to purge or you need to release some fuel gas in the say your flare, right? You need to leave some you need to release some fuel gas into the flare, right? And sometimes there is one separate point is also given which will release that fuel gas in open atmosphere. There is no harm with that. People do that you can release that sample in open atmosphere also, right? So at that time, because you are collecting product, right? Product fuel gas, there won't be any H2S inside the gas, right? Or say very minimum, as hardly zero point 0.5 or 1 ppm H2S will be there, but still it is H2S, right? That's why you need to wear that cartridge mask during your sampling procedure. Whenever you are taking samples of anything, it might be LPG, it might be fuel gas, any sample you are taking, right? If it is in vapor form, if it is in liquid form, there is no problem. If you want to wear the cartridge mask, it is okay. But if the sample is gaseous, right? LPG, fuel gas, anything. So if the sample is gaseous, you need to wear that cartridge mask, right? And those cartridges, whether you are using it or not using it, it is like your packaging, right? On Tetra Pak, it is written that once it is open, either keep in fridge or use it in 5 days. Likewise, LPG, liquefied petroleum gas, whatever the fuel we use for cooking. Whatever it's like that. Once you have opened the cartridge, you just need to use it or not use it. You just discard those cartridges in 3 months, right? And replace it with new cartridge. Okay. Yeah, liquefied petroleum gas. Yeah. Okay. So today let's start with the new topic, that is work permit system. So whenever yesterday you were kind of like on day one of the plant. Now it is like you are taking a charge in the plant. You are operating so many equipment. You are taking care of troubleshooting. You are taking of emergencies as well, right? Like it's around 6 months or 1 year since 1 year you are working in the plant. So at that time you will have that much authority and you are on that position that it is your responsibility to provide the permit for any kind of work which is not of generalship, or say not general work, right? General work means sample taking, take reading of equipments, switching off pump, shutdown of pump, right? These are general activities. You don't need any kind of permission for that. You and the person who is on control panel will coordinate and do these activities, right? But whenever there are activities apart from this, if some person from outside of your plant is coming to your plant and he or she want to do some work which is not regular, you have to take a permit. If you are the in charge of that plant, you have to sign the permit. It is your duty to take care of everything in proper way, right? We will see what needs to be taken care of, but for a while, just see this, that the permit is a authorized or a document, right, which will give a permission to a person or say to contractor. So it is a agreement between you and that contractor who is going to perform the task inside your plant, right? Now, what can be that task? That the task I have mentioned in the right part, that is hot works. Hot works mean anything which will create a spark. Anything which will create a spark will comes under hot work. If it is cutting of the pipe, if it is welding of the pipe, right? And everything will come into hot work permit. Even if your vehicle is entering, even if vehicle is entering, it will be comes under hot work permit, right? All confined space entries. Confined space entries means you will see, as a, you all must be knowing that there are some reactors, vessels, which has only one entry and a single entry and single exit, and covered from all the sides. Only single entry and single exit, right? Those are considered as confined spaces, correct? Another is radiography. Usually when you are doing welding, right, something has, if at some pipe or in some reactors or in some vessel, if welding, you have done some welding, you need to check the quality of that welding, right? Because welding is you are just putting material and it will weld it, but you need to check the quality of that welding. So for the checking the quality of welding, you need to perform radiography, right? To check the quality of welding, you need to perform radiography, and for that radiography also you will require a permit, right? Then all the cold work activities like line and equipment containing on line and like if you want to tight some bolts, right? If you want to clean a strainer, you might have heard this word strainer, like it always in the upstream of the pump. Whenever there is at the entry of the pump, after one valve, between valve and pump, there will be a strainer. A strainer we use to protect the pump from the small impurities. A strainer is like just you can consider as mass, right? Whatever we the mass we use for this filtering purpose, the mass we use for filtering of water as well, that kind of mass will be there. It will protect your pump from the impurities, right? Because your pump impeller will rotate very fast, and if even some metal or some impurities strike on that impeller, it can cause wear and tear on your impeller, and it will reduce the life of your impeller and pump. So to protect the life of impeller, you need to always ensure that only pure liquid or pure gas should go inside the pump. Only pure liquid should go inside the pump, right? Because pump is designed for liquid, your feed stream or say for that particular liquid only. Correct? So the cold work activities include this. Then job carried out while equipment lines are in service. Sometimes you need to open the bypass. If you want to remove control valve, yesterday we saw about that pressure safety valve, that there will be a bypass, and the same at the in similar fashion, if there is a control valve will also have the bypass, right? So there is your control valve, here it will be one valve, here will be one valve, and the bypass will be on third side. The control valve upstream there will be valve, downstream there will be valve, and there will be one bypass. So whenever you want to take out your control valve for maintenance, you need to shut off this upstream and downstream valve. Right? Whenever you are going to take out the control valve, you need to shut off this upstream and downstream valve, right? And you can open that bypass for continuing your operation. Right now, you do not have removed that liquid what is in between this bypass and the control valve. So that's why whenever you will remove control valve, before that you need to ensure whether all the liquid is removed or not. But still, if it is removed, still it will be considered as your running line or line in the service, because it is not, a plant is not under the shutdown, right? Plant is not under the shutdown, your plant is still running. So that's why it will be considered as running line. And if you are taking out the control valve, you are taking control valve from running line, right? So for that also you will require a permit. Work at height, if anything above say 6 feet, anything above 6 feet, you will require a permit for scaffolding, and along with that you will require a permit for this work at height. Right. All this will be considered. I will cover that because there are only 4 types of permit, but all this work like work at height and all will be covered under this cold work permit. Another activities involving use of lifting equipment. Like if you want to, as I gave the example of control valve. Now you are not going to take the control valve with your hand. You will need either trolley, you will need either any crane or any kind of vehicle. So that's why for carrying out those control valve or say valve or say pressure safety valve, you will require permit. Any work other than above considered critical. If something is critical, it is your duty to take the permit, right? If it is critical, you need to, if worker has come and if he or she will tell that, okay, I need to perform this activity, right? And if you find that it is critical, you need to inform to your head and you need to take the permit. Permit means document. It's not your only verbal permit. Correct? I will tell a story also, which is real story, and how bypassing this permit step can cause a life and death scenario. It is a real story, right? And person who was involved in this is still going to sign to the police station every day. If you have watched that Singham, in that that villain has to come to Ajay Devgan's police station and used to sign that in similar fashion. The person who was involved in the incident, he has to go to the police station every day to sign that he has not left the country. Right? So you need to be very cautious with these permits. Because on yesterday only we saw that the plant, we are surrounded by hazards and bombs. and safety has to deal with the life of people. So if here it is not your life, there is a life of contractor who is going to perform the activities or who is going to carry out the job, right? That's why we need to be very cautious. Okay, so the samples which I have shown here are the samples of Saudi Aramco. Okay, so at the Saudi Aramco, there are these types of permit, that is cold work, hot work, confined space entry, and equipment opening or line break. Okay, they do not have this electrical isolation permit, but in India, in Reliance, SR, in IOCL, we have only 4 types of permit. We do not have this permit of equipment opening and line break. We have only 4 permits, that is cold work, hot work, confined space, and electrical isolation. In India, these 4 permits are there. In Saudi Aramco or say in Middle East, except electrical isolation, they have permit of this equipment opening and line break. Yesterday, one of the participants put that in message that this lockout and takeout, right? It has to deal with your electrical equipments. I will cover that also. A work at height permit will be considered in your cold work permit. Like in Jamnagar and Reliance, there is in cold work permit only there are some options, right? So in that there is a mention of this work at height, scaffolding, construction. So you need to tick mark. If you are giving a permit for this work at height, you need to tick mark that person is going to work at height, person is going to work on this scaffolding. You just need to tick mark. There is no separate permit titled as work at height permit. Right, there is no permit titled as work at height permit. Work at height permit will be inside your cold work permit. Excavation permit is also will be in cold work permit, but if you are using tools, which are not spark proof. Now the spark proof tools means if it is your say that tin, bronze and brass, which permit is not available in India. The permit which is equipment opening and line break. Not available means in India we don't issue this permit. We used to cover this inside your cold work only. In cold work permit only, we used to cover this equipment opening and line break. There is no separate permit titled as equipment opening or line break. Okay, so as during excavation work, if it is mandatory to use spark proof tools. Spark proof tools means brass tools. Your metal should be of brass. The iron one which is used in our household activities, you can't use that. Right? You can't use that iron hammer or iron tools because it can create spark. So you need to use that spark proof tool. So if there are chances of some sparks and all, then you need to take hot work permit and include excavation in that. There is no permit like titled as excavation work. You will issue cold work permit and you will assign a task at that excavation is going to happen at this place. Right? So now this is a confined space entry. So in confined space entry, okay. So whenever like let's consider that you are going to enter into the equipment, right? So let's consider that there is a shutdown in plant, right? There is a shutdown in plant. So whenever your shutdown has happened in plant, everything or every liquid will be removed from all the equipment, right? So very first, let's suppose there is a feed surge drum, right? There is a feed surge drum which was filled with liquid. Now, because plant has shut down, you need to empty this feed surge drum. Feed surge drum means from where you are supply the feed to the plant, right? There will be a tank, or there will be a kind of vessel, cylindrical vessel or tank. Inside your feed is filled up, right? So you need to empty out this entire vessel. So first of all, first step will be you will empty this entire vessel, right? Second step will be you will wash this reactor with water, right? You will wash this water with water. Then you will wash this entire vessel with chemical. Some chemicals, for example, KMNO4. KMNO4 usually used. Dow Chemicals has also manufactured some special chemicals, but there will be so much cost involved. But usually for general cleaning, KMNO4 is used. Potassium permanganate, right? KMNO4 solution will be used to clean the vessels. So you need to clean this with KMNO4. Again, you need to clean this vessel with this water. Then you need to pass some plant air, or you can put steam inside the vessel as well. You can put the steam to clean the vessel. Then after passing steam to the vessel, right? Finally, now equipment is ready to enter. But before that, what will be the first step you will do? It has to do with yesterday's lecture. What will be the first step you will do before checking that whether my equipment is ready to enter or not? You can see in this presentation also that if you can get the answer, but what will be the first step before checking whether the vessel is ready for entry or not? And answer is in yesterday's webinar. If you have if your focus was there, you can try to give the answer of that. Anyone? As the name suggests, it is confined space. What will be there as limited quantity, which you always need in abundance? Yeah, the question is, the question is that before entering to this confined space or any vessel, okay, after cleaning with water, chemicals, steam and everything, before entering into that reactor, say vessel or say feed surge drum, what will be your first step to check? What will be your first step to check whether vessel is ready for entry or not? And I told that answer is in yesterday's webinar. Yes, check gas stage, oxygen cylinder, correct. Oxygen cylinder is not required, but yeah, gas test. You need to perform gas test. Confined space means lack of oxygen. I told that answer might be in this presentation. Confined space means there will be a lack of oxygen. So you need to carry out the gas test. You can carry out this gas test with this multi-detector, which we saw yesterday, right? Here is that, right? If you clearly see on this, the last one in yellow with 4 button, it is written EX, O2, CO and H2S, right? oxygen, carbon monoxide, H2S. These are written. So from here, you need to, by using this multi-gas detector, you need to carry out your gas test, and with this gas test, you need to check whether minimum 21% of oxygen is there or not. Right? Minimum 21% of oxygen is there or not. You need to check that. It should be always above 21%. If it is 19 or 20%, then also you need to keep this vessel open for a while, or say perform some steam activities and all. But you need to always ensure that your vessel should have also always it should have minimum 21% of oxygen. Right? After carrying this test, gas test, and if you are ensured that okay, there is a minimum 21% oxygen, now the equipment is ready for the entry. Okay. For the first time, only contractor will enter. Okay. With contractor, you can see in this presentation that one person is inside the vessel. What is the percentage of LEL? No, there should be no LEL, because we are talking about entire free of any poisonous gases, any toxic gases. Your vessel should be free of anything. Like LEL means lower explosive limit. So there should be no explosive gas inside your reactor. If it is showing some LEL, which means that you have to perform the test again. You have to carry out all the activities again. So there won't be any LEL. You need to check oxygen concentration. Right? There won't be any LEL. You need to check the percentage of oxygen. So the percentage of oxygen should be 21%, minimum 21%. Below that, it won't your reactor is not healthy to enter. Your reactor or vessel is not fit to enter. Right? So whenever first person is going on, right, with that person, you can see that lifeline to safety harness, right? It will be with attached with his body, okay, and the person from the top will it is his duty to see whether the person who is inside is healthy or not, right? So first of all, this person who is, what is the maximum percentage of oxygen should be present in the vessel? Maximum because even in atmosphere also it is oxygen is around that 21-22%, right? So in that reactor also it won't be much, like around 25% or something. We want natural air only. You are not going to put plant air or something, right? There should be this 21% oxygen inside your inside the vessel. There is not kind of any permissible. It is not permissible limit for maximum, but there is a limit for minimum. That minimum 21% should be there, right? Now, even if your reactor shows that there is a 21% of oxygen, then also you have to wear that SCBA, self-contained breathing apparatus, before entering to the vessel. So two things are mandatory. First, that is lifeline to safety harness, and another thing is self-contained breathing apparatus. The safety harness will be used if something has happened. Minimum percentage, 20.9 is minimum percentage. Okay, like if something has happened to that worker who is inside and he is not able to move, that harness is there to pull him or her out of the vessel. That harness will help to pull him or her out of the vessel, right? And self-contained breathing apparatus is for extra safety, right? So what the series of events I told, that first you will empty the reactor, then water cleaning, liquid chemical cleaning, steam cleaning, then gas test. Then after, the person will enter with this life harness and self-contained breathing apparatus. He or she will clean your vessel, right? And after that, it will be officially confirmed that okay, now this vessel is open to everybody. After this cleaning by the person, it is not mandatory to use self-contained breathing apparatus, right? But yeah, one person should always be there on the top, but there is no need of this life harness, and there is no need of this self-contained breathing apparatus. But when it is around like your vessel is cleaned and everything, the person is also cleaned, and if your shutdown is say around 30 days, your plant is in shutdown for 30 days. So after the cleaning, this vessel was officially announced as open to entry for all, you can enter without SCBA and life harness, or say 5 or 7 days, because till then vessel is now free of everything. So being a fresher or being a young person, you need to take care of that, right? If you want, because like I was in shutdown of Nayara refinery, it was around 40 or 45 days of shutdown, and at that time I have seen each and every equipment, that whether it's distillation column or reactor or vessel or everything. I have seen everything by entering inside the column or by entering inside the vessel. So you won't need any SCBA and this life harness. You just need to have one person above the vessel, right? But you need to keep in mind that what I am talking is the plant is in shutdown, and I was entered in the vessel after 1 week of the announcement that the vehicle, vessel is now ready for open entry for open to all. Correct. So you need to take care of that when you are dealing with this confined space entry. Two things are mandatory. I am again telling, two things are mandatory: this lifeline and this self-contained breathing apparatus, and the standby worker. Standby worker is okay, but still you should not avoid that. Always have a standby person with you, right? Okay. This is work at height. The permit for work at height will be the cold work permit only. In that you need to put the mark of this work at height, and if the work is going to be happen at above 6 feet, you will require a scaffolding. Scaffolding means you will create, you can see that on the left side photo, that is scaffolding, right? In scaffolding, you must have the ladder. There should be a ladder, because when this contractor will create this scaffolding, when he will build scaffolding, after that you as a in charge of your plant need to verify whether the scaffolding is perfect or not. I am not going to go into the detail of scaffolding, because there are so many technicalities also, that these many poles should be there, after this many height this another ladder should be there. But we are right now considering only one stage scaffolding, only one platform is there, and you have one ladder, right. So your scaffolding, you need to verify, you need to check the fitness of your scaffolding, and you need to issue this permit of cold work permit. You need to mention it is work at height, and you need to mention that the scaffolding is going to be used, scaffolding is built. Now, you can see on this scaffold safety photograph that person there is some black line is there from behind his back. That is your harness. The harness which was shown in this confined space, the similar harness you have to use during this scaffolding safety also. There will be some clip clip will be there. You need to hang that clip onto the rod uh, from which you have built the scaffolding. Right, on one of the rod you can you can put that clip and then you can work. So if by chance you fall, that clip which is hanging on that rod of the scaffolding, you will be in hanging position. You will not fall on the ground. You will be hanging on this scaffolding. So you need to take care of that. There are guidance for the how to climb a ladder. Now there will be two types of ladder in your plant. One kind of which is shown as simple ladders. These are simple ladders which are shown in photograph. Another will be three types of ladder will be there. One which is shown in photograph. Second will be rope ladder. If your reactor is quite like very big in height, at that time there will be rope ladder to enter inside the reactor or inside in the vessel. You can't you can't put you can't put a metal ladder inside that because there won't be any support or something. So at that time you will use rope ladder. You might have seen rope ladder in some movies of army movies or something, right? They use rope ladder. And third will be monkey ladder. Monkey ladder, which means you are climbing and it is surrounded with metal strips. You have seen in some big towers, and if you have seen chimneys or flare towers, right? There will on that there will be a monkey ladder, right? So there are say some guidelines. We can't say the rules, but there are some guidelines how to climb the ladder. You should always hold your ladder with two hands. And when one person is climbing the ladder, second person won't climb at the same time, right? If one person is climbing the ladder, second person won't climb at the same time. He or she will wait till the person is completed entire ladder and he has reached to the platform. Because if a second person is also climbing the ladder at the same time, the person who is on top, if somehow he will fall down on the second person. And instead of one injury, there will be two injuries. Right? Instead of one injury, there will be two injuries. So that's why it is mandatory to keep in mind that if one person is climbing the ladder, second person should not allow to climb the ladder at the same time. Right? I think I am not understanding the confusion here. The oxygen it's always required in minimum percentage, right? Minimum percentage of this 20.9 or 21% should be there. Above that it is okay, but I don't think that naturally there is a chance of cross the limit above 21%. And there is no there is no guidelines for maximum oxygen. You will require that minimum percentage of oxygen. Above that it will be okay. Below that it is not okay. So your percentage of oxygen inside the vessel all the time should be 21% or around it. not 19%. Below that, it won't be okay, but above 21, it will be okay. So, this was with the work permit. During work permit, I have told one thing, that vehicle entry. In vehicle entry also, if you are the in charge of your plant, if vehicle is coming in your plant, you need to check the fitness certificate of vehicle. Okay, there will be one separate department who will check the vehicles time to time. The silencer of every vehicle which are permitted inside the plant will have spark proof or say spark arrestor. Right, one cylinder thing will be there, one cylinder kind of equipment will be there, and it will be put on the silencer of this silencer of the vehicle. It will remove whatever the spark will created. If there will any spark, it will that equipment, the spark arrestor, will prevent those sparks from coming outside. Right, so you need to check whether spark arrestor is fixed on the silencer of your vehicle or not. And you need to check the fitness certificate of that vehicle. I think every 3 months there used to be inspection of these vehicles every 3 months, and you need to check whether the latest certificate is provided or not. Yeah, if excavation is above 1.8 meter, in here it was 2 meter. So above 2 meter, there will be a requirement of confined space entry. Thank you for this question. Right, because no doubt it is excavation work, but the moment the person his whole body is inside this excavation pit, he or she need to take this confined space entry, that is above 1.8 meter or say 2 meter. Above that, you need to take this confined space entry permit. Right now, if you have to carry out the welding job, right? If you have to carry out the welding job, first of all, you will issue hot work permit, right? I am just telling the steps how to carry out the welding work because it is hot work. First of all, you need to take the hot work permit. Then the area or the line which is going to be on which hot work permit or on which this welding is going to be performed, you need to ensure 24 hours before. You need to ensure 24 hours before the work that whether your that particular part on which welding is going to be happen is flammable gas or toxic gas free or not. There should be no any liquid, there should be no any gas, and you need to ensure that before 24 hours. Right, because you are going to perform welding, it means that it is open part or it is cracked part, right? Then only you are going to perform welding. So from that cracked part or open part, you have to carry out that gas test, and you need to check whether any flammable gas or toxic gas is coming or not. Right, that part should be completely free of liquid and gases. That you need to ensure before 24 hours. And it is mandatory to mention in that hot work permit whether you have performed gas test or not. Right. Ladder ratio and everything is quite, it will be very, like say, it's more technical and we will go into the much more detail of that. So, so whatever we have seen right now, it is enough for you. right? I can understand your curiosity, but we will cover. If the time will be there, I will try to answer this. Okay. So first of all, there should be no any liquid gas inside your that pipeline. Okay, you need to perform this answer with gas test. Okay, you need to mention in that hot work permit also that you have performed gas test. And here is the key. You have to sign the person who has performed the gas test. There will be name of that person. So if something has happened, the direct say there is his or her responsibility, because he has mentioned that gas test is performed, and if something is found inside that part, it will be his or her responsibility, right? Now, okay, the time has come for the welding. You need to ensure whether your the part which is going to be welded, it should be surrounded with fire blanket. The meaning of fire blanket means you will usually use jute bags, in which usually we found wheat in that. Okay, so that jute bags you will use. Those jute bags should be wet with water. Okay, so if any spark, all the sparks will be absorbed by that jute bag, and because it is wet, there won't be an issue. Never use dry jute bags. Always use wet jute bags. Right? One running fire hose should be there. Means at the low flow rate, water is coming from that fire hose. That hose should be nearby that part on which welding is going to be carried out. Right? Fire extinguisher should be there at your site. On the just beside the part on which welding is going to be happen. Right? Now in fire extinguishers also there is a fitness certificate or say inspection. Every month this fire extinguisher will be inspected. There will be a metal strip mentioning months on that metal strip, and each month it will be punched. There will be hole on that month. If right now it is March, and if this fire extinguisher is inspected, the inspection person will put punch on that metal strip, and by that hole or punched hole, you can confirm that okay, your cylinder is fit and ready to use. If it is not fit, you have to use another cylinder. Never use cylinder which is not inspected in current month. Never use those fire extinguishers which are not inspected in the current month. So if you are going to do the hot work, these things are mandatory. First thing, line should be empty, which you need to ensure before 24 hours. You will require fire blanket, which should be wet, and the fire blankets will be jute bags, and they should be wet. Running fire hose should be there. That is, water at low flow rate should come out from that fire hose. Right? And one fire extinguisher should be there. Fire extinguisher should be inspected in current month. Right? If it is not, you can. It is your right. It is your right to ask a new fire extinguisher, but never use old fire extinguisher or say the fire extinguisher which is not inspected. Right? Being in charge of plant, you have that much authority. Whatever you will tell, that will happen. Okay, even you can order your HOD also, because tomorrow something will happen, it will be your responsibility. So even head of the plant is coming and say, then you need to ask that please put your sign on this. But because my sign is there, I won't allow to carry out this job without these safety precautions. Now let me tell you this story which I was talking about, that how the bypassing this permit system is hazardous and why there is a game of life and death. There was a one job of say clamping. Whenever there is a flange which is leaking, flange, there will be always a flange on the pipeline to connect two pipes, right? And between those flange, gasket will be there, right? Now, if your pipe is running and like you have bypasses for control valve, safety valve, but for running line, there won't be any bypass. And if you can't take this shutdown, you will try to put clamp on that leak. If your flange is leaking, if your flange is leaking, you will try to put that clamp on that part. Usually, if a hydrocarbon line is leaking, you can't do that. But if it is steam line or water line or plant air line or nitrogen line, or say utilities line, these are utilities: water, plant air, boiler feed water, right? Steam will be low pressure steam, medium pressure steam, and high pressure steam, right? So these will be there. Ismail, the positive isolation is important, yes, but that's why I told that you need to check the thing before 24 hours only. There should be no material inside that. It means that if you will not if you will not do the positive isolation, okay, there will be a chances of material. So now here the positive isolation means you need to shut down your valves which is on upstream or downstream, right? You need to completely shut off those valves, and that is known as positive isolation, right? And no material is passing through that valve. No material is passing through that valve. That is your positive isolation. Correct? Okay. So what I was telling, that if it is steam line, and if it is steam line and there is leaking from the flange, you can put that clamp on that, and on that clamp there will be some material like it is not known as M seal, but some material will be there injected in that. That material will protect the steam to come out from that leak. It is kind of adhesive, right? It is kind of adhesive which we used to be filled in the inside that clamp. Now, in one of the refinery, permit was issued for low pressure steam clamp. Okay, in low pressure steam, there was a flange, low pressure steam line, there was a flange, and on that flange, permit was issued to fill the material in that low pressure steam line. Please focus here, right? Permit was issued to fill the material in that low pressure steam line. And beside that, there was a high pressure steam line. Nearby to low pressure steam line, there was a high pressure steam line. On that high pressure steam line also there was a clamp. Okay, there was a clamp. Now, the worker who came to fill the material inside the clamp, he has performed his activity on that low pressure steam line for which permit was issued. But he thought something extra. And he thought that let me fill the material in this high pressure steam line also. because that high pressure steam line clamp also was some leak was there. So he thought that, okay, the permit is issued for low pressure steam line, but let me fill this material in this high pressure steam line also. And this was his biggest mistake. High pressure steam, pressure will be around 40 kg. High pressure steam, pressure will be around 40 kg per cm square. Temperature will be around 280 to 300, above that, above 280 degrees Celsius. When he started filling material in that clamp of high pressure steam line, entire clamp was burst and the person died on that site only due to the blast of that steam. You can imagine that if you are boiling water, and if you put hand over it, because that steam has no pressure, still you will get burned, right? Your skin will sense the burning. But here the active steam was 40 kg per cm square gauge pressure and around 280 degrees Celsius temperature. The person was died immediately. Now in this case, this was the fault of that contractor only, right? But the person who is going to police station every day, the story of that person is that the plant was in shutdown and welding work is going to be happen on gasoline line. Welding work is going to happen on gasoline line. And as someone has mentioned, contractor was died. That I am telling, that entire steam was come on him. The blast of steam, he was in like blast of steam covered his body and he died immediately. So the welding was going to be performed on that gasoline line, and employee, like I mentioned, that you need to ensure that there should be no liquid, no gas should be inside the pipeline. And he signed this hot work permit that yeah, gas test was performed and there is nothing inside that gas or liquid, nothing is there. He passed that permit. And what happened? The moment, and there were around 4 contractors. There were 4 contractors around the line. 4 contractors around the line. The moment they started the first weld, because there was some gasoline inside the line, there was a blast and all 4 people died immediately. At the very moment, all 4 people died immediately. And the person whose name was on that permit for that gas test, he is he goes to police station every day for sign. He can't he can't leave the country. He is employee of the refinery, but he can't leave the country. Right. Now, in this case, what your question is that the person who is responsible. Now, if you have not performed the gas test, then it is this employee's responsibility. But if contractor or worker doing something extra by himself, then there is no responsibility of anyone. It is completely his fault, because none of the person or nobody told him to do this. Nobody told him to fill the material in high pressure steam line, but still he did. So it was a complete fault of him. But the story which I am telling about this gasoline line, welding line, in that employee was involved. It was the fault of that employee that he has not performed gas test correctly. If he would have performed the gas test correctly, he would have found out that there is some gasoline inside there. Right. So these are the work permit is quite serious thing. You need to take care of these things very cautiously. You don't need to bypass anything, because there is some meaning of everything what is written inside your work permit. Right. So never ever bypass anything whatever written inside your work permit. Correct. Okay. Now we will see the firefighting system. Now, in this thing, you guys need to be very participative. Right, this is quite interesting. Work permit, I can understand that you don't have that much knowledge about this, but for firefighting, you can apply your logic as well. Now, what are the how the fire can happen? So always for the fire, three things will be required, right? That is oxygen, heat source, and fuel. If any one of these three is missing, your fire won't happen. Right? There should be heat source, there should be oxygen, and there should be fuel. These three are mandatory requirements for the fire to happen. Right? Now, whenever you want to extinguish the fire, what you will try to do? Quickly put your answer in the message. Whenever you want to extinguish the fire, what will be your prime requirement, or what will be your prime motto to do? How to extinguish fire? Like fundamentally, what will you do? I am not telling that you will use fire extinguisher, you will use water. Yeah, cut oxygen source. Anything else? Any other option? या कोई भी एक सोर्स कम कर देना. करेक्ट. Food, sand, blanket. Okay, so what I was trying that above answer are right, that is कोई भी एक सोर्स कम कर देना. Like you need to eliminate any one from this triangle. You need to eliminate any one from this triangle. So usually fuel source can't be eliminated. Right, usually fuel source can't be eliminated because it is there. You are not going to eliminate the fuel. Sometimes heat source are also like it can be eliminated, like if it is happening with some welding spark or something, you can immediately stop the welding. But once it caught the fire, there is a fire. There is no like going behind. Right, and the most common is removing oxygen. That you do by putting sand, by blanket. Right, you are cutting oxygen source. So yesterday we saw the cylinders. Now here is your types of fire. Right, class A means if solid combustible material, paper, wood, textile. Class B, it is with classification of this petrol and diesel. Then if it is by gas, then it is class C. If it is by metal, that is sodium, potassium, lithium, it is class D. If these are deep fat like cooking oils, the fires which happen in kitchens, these are class F. This home in which I am living last year only, after coming in this home, and within 1 week fire occurred in our kitchen. There was a fire due to this fire cylinder, LPG cylinder. Fire was not on cylinder, but my mother by mistake put that cooking stove on the pipeline of that LPG, right? So your burner is on top, and if your pipeline is below, your gas pipeline is below that stove, due to that pipeline caught pipeline entirely cut off, and the LPG start coming out from that, and immediately there was a fire. And what we did at that time, that first of all, I told my mother to close that regulate valve, right? Because fire was in my direction. Fire was in my direction, my mother was on back side, so I told her to switch off this regulator. But somehow she couldn't do it. Now, what I was telling to her by switching off the regulator means by cutting off the source of the fire, right? If she would have been able to switch off the regulator, there will be a cutoff of the fuel, right? But what happens next? That this IADC person has meant that throw the blanket. So she used wet doormat on the pipeline from where the LPG was coming and the fire was occurring. He threw that doormat over that pipeline, and that's how we were able to extinguish the fire. And the moment the fire was extinguished, I immediately went to the cylinder and switched off the regulator. And that's how the complete extinguishing took place. Right. So you need to take care of this because when you will see fire, and if it is LPG, your mind will stop to work. You won't get much ideas as what to do. Right. So in industry, whenever something is happening, please be calm. First of all, be calm. The moment you will go furious, you won't get any idea that what you should do next, right? So the class E is electrical fire, that is with short circuit, and we have seen yesterday the which cylinder you should use, right? Now, how to use these cylinders? The method is here. Conventional cylinders were like that. You need to press the button with one hand, right? And once the powder is coming out of the cylinder, in one shot only you need to empty entire cylinder. Like there is no coming back once the powder is coming to start. You just have to refill the cylinder. But nowadays, new generation cylinders are that you can control them with that press button, right? So try to remember this formula, that is pass, PASS, pass means pull the pin, aim at the base of fire, squeeze the lever, and sweep side to side. Always put aim at the second option, that is aim at the base of fire. You need to put your extinguishing material at the base, not on the top. If your fire is there, you don't need to put on the top. Always try to put at the base, right? From the base, you need to remove the oxygen supply. From top, you can't do that. It will take time. So always aim at the base of your fire source, right? Nowadays, it is very easy to operate the fire cylinders. Before that, the conventional cylinders were a bit tricky. You need to perform like a 30-second kind of thing, that you pull the lever, then press the button and everything. right? It will happen that on one shot you won't be able to press the button. So due to these issues, there are new generation cylinders in which you just need to squeeze the lever. Everywhere you will see these kind of cylinders only, right? And another is race. Now, let's suppose yesterday we saw that if there is a flammable gas detector, right, if a flammable gas is leaked, your detector has detected it and it has shown that from the beacon, like siren sound was there, you have heard that sound, you went to see the beacon and on beacon it was a toxic gas release, right? Now today if your fire detector has detected a flame, right, and siren is there and you have seen that it is a sign of fire, right, what will be your first step to do? What will be your first step? Now there are two scenarios. If you are on day one, you just need to leave the plant and go to the assembly point, right? We have covered that yesterday. But now you are experienced. Today you have got some experience. You have learned so many things, right? Today you are experienced and imagine that you are 6 months or 1 year of experience. You can't leave the plant now, right? It will be like you are leaving the war. Right, a soldier is leaving a war. That kind of impression you will give to your plant colleagues. So you can't leave the plant now. So what will be your line of action? Can anybody tell me? Please put your answer in your message. If you will see the fire signal on the beacon, what will be your line of action? You can use this presentation slide also. That is rescue, alarm, contain, evacuate. But still, what will be your first step? Please be quick. We have time of 10 minutes only. Official time we have 10 minutes only. Please be quick. What only just I am just asking for first step. Please keep in mind that I am not telling that fire is in front of your eyes. What I am telling that you have come to know about fire from the beacon. So from the beacon, if you came to know about the fire, it means that it is somewhere there is a fire inside your plant. What will be your first step? If you are like working in the plant since 1 year. I am audible, right? And question is clear to everyone, right? At least put yes or no, whether question is clear or not. Please at least put yes or no, whether question is clear or not. Yeah, Abdullah, I am asking that yesterday I told that you will get a signal from your safety beacon about if something will happen, that if whether fire is there or some toxic gas release is there or flammable gas release is there, you will get to know this from your beacon. So now what I am putting a scenario in front of you, that you are working in your plant, you are hearing a siren sound and you are watching a beacon. On beacon, you are getting a signal that in plant, in some part, there is a fire. What will be your first step? And I got my answer. Somebody has written that to give a call to control room. Yes. First of all, you will identify in your plant where there is a fire, right? First of all, from control room, you will find that in which part there is a fire, and you will try to go to that plant, that part or that area of your fire. You will check whether somebody is there or not, any of your colleague is there or not, right? Okay. And sometimes what will happen that if it is coming from control area, all the person will come to this. Okay, but if you are first to reach there, you need to check. Now there is a short form for that also, that is race. First option is rescue. If some person is in danger, you need to evacuate him or her immediately. From where you will evacuate him or her? From where you will go? If you have spotted somebody who needs help, you got him. Now, from where you will go outside of the plant? Try to remember yesterday's things. From where you will go outside of the plant? Okay, assembly point, but assembly point is the last stop. From where you will go? From where? My question is from where you will go? Escape route, correct. You will go through escape route. Correct? Now, if you have identified that if somebody is in help, you will go through escape route to assembly point. But if nobody is required help, now if nobody is required help, the first step you will do is you will break the MCP glass, manual call point. You will call fire people, like fire extinguisher people, depending upon the size of fire. If it is just a small fire, you can also extinguish using fire cylinder, depending upon what is the class of fire is there. Usually in petrochemical plants, there will be these related to gas and petrochemicals only, right? So you need to identify that, use the fire cylinder accordingly, correct? If it is small fire, but if it is big fire, you can't handle that. At that time, first of all, press the manual call point. If you are seeing that fire is out of control, you have to see the wind shock, check the wind speed, and immediately run outside of the plant to assembly point using escape route in the crosswind direction. Always go to crosswind direction, right? So these are the series of events you will perform. And what I told yesterday, that if it fires through electrical cables and all, if there is no option available, then you can use dry powder or say ABC powder. But my recommendation, my suggestion is that please try to avoid that. Go for carbon dioxide only. Because cleaning of that electrical cables, and it will be a very much headache for everybody. So never, or say, try to avoid powder extinguisher used during electrical fire. If once the fire department has arrived to your plant, now your task is over. You go to assembly point or you go to safe place. Because there will be a huge team of fire department team. They will come and they will see the things accordingly. Right? Okay. Now, if you want to use this fire let me first cover this right side part. Right side part is deluge valve system. That is deluge valve system. Now, the above point which you are seeing, there is some glass bulb will be there. Glass bulb will be there. Okay. So due to the fire, usually these are on the top of your pumps. On reactors, you will see around your storage tanks as well. You will see around storage tanks, pumps, reactors, right? On these equipments, this kind of deluge valve system is provided. There is one kind of some small glass will be there. Whenever there will be a fire due to temperature, the glass will burst. Sometimes there will they have provided glass, and sometimes there will be connected with your flame detection. But the problem with flame detection is that if you will connect this with flame detection, if your flame detector somehow go faulty, like if it is giving faulty indication, then also your deluge valve system will start. Then also this fire sprinkling will start. So normally there will be a glass bulb which will be burst due to temperature, right? And the water will start coming out from that, and the water will start to sprinkle on either its storage tank or pump or equipment, right? And on the left side, this is the fire de-either system, right? You need to always check. There are 3 valves are shut off. These are bypass valves, right? In this also somewhere pressure safety valves are given, and in this also the bypasses are given, right? So you always need to check that the in-line valves are open or not. You can see clearly here that 3 valves are closed. Now, if anybody knows which valve is closed and which valve is open, 3 valves are open and 3 valves are closed. I am talking about bottom valves only. So can you spot which valve is closed and which valve is open? Just give numbers from left side. 3 valves are closed and 3 valves are open. From which side? Okay, from which side first valve is closed? Is it left side of the image or right side of the image? Which valve is closed? Okay, Parth is saying left. Odd are open, but there is odd with what I say. Okay, from left side, odd are open. Is it that what you want to say, Deep Patel? Okay, from left. Okay. Correct. The valve in which that gate is not out, like you are seeing that there is a handle and the threaded iron rod is coming out. That threaded iron rod is the gate. These all are gate valves. You have seen gate valves and globe valves. You must have learned by now. So these are the gate valves. And whenever you see the threaded things out of this hand wheel, it means that this valve is open. And if this threaded thing inside your hand wheel, it means that your valve is closed. Right. So from the left side, first, third, and fifth is closed, and the alternate even side, that is second, fourth, and sixth, are open valve. So you need to check every time whenever you are taking like round inside your plant, a daily round, or you are doing some activity. You need to check whether these valves are open or not. Also there will be a pressure gauge on these lines. You need to check pressure also. In Nayara Energy, they usually keep pressure around 10 kg per cm square. So you need to check the pressure whether it is 10 kg per cm square or not. Right? So now for firefighting system also we will saw one small short video which is of 2 minutes only. In that you will see that how how you should hold the fire hose, how should you lay down the fire hose, how water will be start, how you connect that pump inside the hose, right? How like entire assembly will work, how the person is going to hold the fire hose, right? We will see this. Just give me a minute. You can see, 1 second. You can see my screen, right? Anybody from IADP, please confirm you can see my screen, right?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Yeah. This is how you should hold the fire hose. This is how you put inside this fire hydrant. That is fire hydrant. This is fire hose.
बहुत बढ़िया बस
This is how you should lay down. Now another person is coming. Okay, that's how you put this. Just
ये
you need to look how he is holding.
इसे सटा लीजिए
Right. You need to hold
ये
in this
पोजीशन रहेगा है ना
position or
पैर का पोजीशन बता दिया लो पकड़ो धीरे
हाँ सिपर आप मेरे पीछे पाँव में यहाँ नहीं
खोलिए
कम करिए
इधर दिखाओ हाथ
हाँ सर
देखो हाथ दिखाओ
कम करो
कम कर लीजिए ठीक है बंद कर दीजिए समेट खोलिए
should I play it again or it was clear? Participant, please put your answer. Was it clear to you or should I play it again? So that's how you need to carry out your fire hose. You need to plug inside the fire hydrant. The key thing. So now, how many people you will require? How many people you will require whenever there is when you are going for a fire extinguishing? Whenever you are going for a fire extinguishing activities, how many people you will require? Okay, 2. Anybody else? How many people you will require? Okay. Okay. Deep is telling 3, Jatin and Shivam is telling 2. Now there are 2 options. Okay. So please give your answer. There are, we have 37 plus people are there. Only 3 answers are there. But what is answer of other people? How many people you will require during fire extinguishing technique? Okay. 2, 3 means we are having a score of 3-1. Anybody else? Please put your answer. Okay, now it is 3-2, 3-3, 4-3. Okay, anybody else? Please put your answer. Okay, 5-3. Okay, those who are telling 3, Jatin has changed his vote. Those who are telling 3, where was the third person? We have seen 2 people in video. Where was the third person?
Who opened the wall?
Yeah, he was opening the valve. He was operating the valve, right? The second person in half, like who came like second, he used to signal that how much flow of or pressure you require. So that person will be at valve. So always, whenever you are using a fire hydrant, okay, fire hydrant for firefighting or fire hose for firefighting, you will always require 3 people, right? Always you will require 3 people, 1 to operate valve and 2 people to handle the hose. Sorry, right? And today's last part, this is just a general thing. These are life-saving rules. You need to apply, you need to keep in mind these rules in your day-to-day life, and you need to keep these rules in mind whenever you are in any of the chemical plant. Not petrochemical plant, not petroleum refinery, but any of the chemical plant, you need to keep in mind these life rules. That is work permit, gas test, verified isolation before work begins. If it is confined space entry, take the authorization. Safety equipment, yesterday I was talking about that process safety valve. If someone is opening the bypass, then you are bypassing the safety valve. So you need to take the authorization for that. Work at height. Never walk under the suspended load. That if crane work is going on, if a crane is inside your plant to lift some these valves, control valves or something, never go in below that hanging item. Do not smoke. Do not use alcohol or drugs. Right? Do not use mobile. Always wear seat belt and follow your precise journey management plan. Right. So these are the life saving. If you will follow these rules, 99% of chances that your life will be saved. 1% we always leave to God. Right. 99% cases you will be saved, because if you will bypass any of thing, there are maximum chances that something will happen. But if you will follow these rules, there are maximum chances you will be saved. Right. Now, tomorrow is Sunday and the presentation part is complete today. Tomorrow I have interesting things for you, that we are going to watch 4 documentaries. Okay, we are going to watch 4 documentaries. That is, one will be on Bhopal gas, one will be on Chernobyl, one will be on Piper Alpha, and one will be on Texas refinery fire, Texas City. Okay, all the documentaries are of around 10 minutes. You guys, what I will tell to you that just read some brief information about these incidents. Let me put in the chat. You guys need to have just prior information about these incidents. We will discuss that what was happened, and we will try to learn from the incidents. So tomorrow there will be no presentation. We will see videos only. So don't
Hello.
miss tomorrow's session.
Hello. Sir, am I audible?
Yeah.
Sir, I want to add something that we will have quiz as well at the end
Okay.
of the tomorrow's session.
So it will be like what I say. You will have time for the quiz, and all people. You need to go through this quiz also. It will be interesting for you guys whether you have learned correctly or not. And I will be available there whenever you require any information on some doubts also. And also, okay, Harsh will, I think you guys have WhatsApp group, right?
Yes, sir, we have the group.
So you can drop entire information regarding quiz in that. I think that will be good for them.
Sure, sir.
One extra thing from my side which I wanted to add is that this is not related to this safety webinar and all, and this IADP. Even I have not discussed this with hers also, organizer. Apart from whatever I am doing in career-wise, I am also into the personal and self-development. I am certified neuro-linguistic programming practitioner. You can search what exactly it is. I am neuro-linguistic programming. It has to do with how our brain functions, how our habits, how our behavior works and all. Right. So I am certified for that also, to provide the kind of training to that also. Okay, more information. What I want to do is that I want to conduct a program on that as well. It will not be a part of this IADP, but it will be of my like my personal side. Okay, and I will form a Telegram group, and I will share a link to hers, you guys, and he will post this link in your WhatsApp group, and you guys can join that Telegram group. Further details I will share in that what kind of program will be there. Okay, I will conduct some free sessions as well, and and I will discuss further details in that. But if in these 2 days and in tomorrow also, like in these 2 days, if you guys have found that, like, yeah, if you found some good things in my presentation skill, in my teaching skill, so you can trust me on that side as well. Okay, so I can help you in your personal management and personal development also, right? So I will share other details with hers, and in Telegram group which I will create. Okay, so do join that group as well. Okay, so Harsh, that's it from my side for today.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. And thank you so much all the participants for joining the webinar. I look forward to have you all in the tomorrow's session as well. And again, I am reminding that we are having quiz, and the participants, those will attend the quiz, will be provided the certificates for attending the webinar. Thank you so much. The session is officially over for today. See you all guys tomorrow.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, bye everyone. The questions I have already read, and there will be questions in this MS Teams as well group. So I will answer these questions tomorrow. Okay, don't worry. I will answer these questions tomorrow. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.